Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Governor of Southern Red Sea region conducts public meeting with residents. Vocational training for workers in Asmara. Bolivia cuts diplomatic ties with Israel over strikes in Gaza. Macron in Central Asia to boost France's profile in the region. In our domestic news, Ambassador Mohammed Said Mantai, governor of the Southern Red Sea region, conducted a public meeting with representatives of the residents of Southern Antalya subzone. The use of growth of social services in the region was the main topic of discussion held in Abo and Alale on October 28 and 29. Ambassador Mohammed Said emphasized that the establishment and delivery of social services are top development initiatives and urged the residents to appropriately utilize the institutions that provide these services. The governor urged parents to enroll their school-aged children in school, highlighting the importance of the substantial investments made in the education sector. Ambassador Mohammed Said urged the residents to increase their involvement in the agricultural projects in the coastal areas, pointing out that the successful implementation of development programs last year were made possible by the strong participation of the community. The governor also urged the residents to make judicious use of the social service provision institutions that have been established in their community and to guarantee their long-term viability. Heads of branches of the Ministries of Education, Health, Marine Resources on their part delivered briefings to the participants. The participants conveyed their readiness to enhance involvement in all development initiatives and demanded the prompt repair of impaired potable water supply projects. The National Confederation of Eritrean Workers, in cooperation with SMAP, provided training to 164 workers from various enterprises on accounting, administration and leadership, secretarial science and computer technology. The head of National Confederation of Eritrean Workers Training and Human Resource Development, Mr. Mulugeta Fushatsian, urged the trainees to put the training they have received to use at their place of work, stating that the Confederation has been doing its level best, modest contribution to develop the capacity of workers. The Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare's Director General of Social Welfare, Mr. Walda Yusuf Alissa, for his part, stated that significant opportunities and challenges will come with the global labor force of the future and urged the creation of pertinent training programs to address those challenges. Professor Tasfai Haile, director of SMAP, commended the National Workers' Confederation for sending personnel to the training facility and expressed optimism that the training will significantly contribute to the improvement of the institution's daily operations. Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Kabra Abkidane, Deputy Secretary General of the National Workers' Confederation, urged employees to benefit from the training programs, indicating that the training was an extension of those being held at the training center in Massawa. Residents of all administrative areas in Af-Abet subzone have conducted commendable popular campaigns from 1 to 30 October. The popular campaigns involved renovation of dirt roads, building and renovating terraces, and construction of water catchments and diversion schemes. The administrator of the Af-Abet subzone, Mr. Mohammed Noor Rajib, praised the citizens' enthusiastic engagement in the popular campaigns and advocated for increased participation for improved results. On their side, the participants indicated that they were prepared to increase their involvement in the popular initiatives. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned now for the international news right after the short break. Bolivia has severed relations with Israel over its strikes on Gaza, a diplomatic decision that Israel condemned as quote-unquote surrender to terrorism. Bolivia's foreign ministry said in a statement that the decision to cut diplomatic ties announced Tuesday had been made in protest and condemnation of the aggressive and disproportionate Israeli military offensive taking place in the Gaza Strip, which threatens international peace and security. The Latin American nation had only restored diplomatic ties with Israel in 2019 after a decade-long rupture. That was also in protest over the Israeli military's actions in Gaza. In severing ties, Bolivia called for an end to Israel's current strikes on Gaza, denounced the thousands of casualties the Israeli strikes have since inflicted, and urged that sufficient food, water and aid be allowed to enter the enclave. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that relations with Bolivia had been devoid of content under the Latin American country's current government. Quote-unquote, by taking this step, the Bolivian government is aligning itself with the Hamas terrorist organization, the Israelis have said. Israel also accused Bolivia of bowing to the influence of Iran, which has long supported Hamas and other groups that oppose Israel. The governments of Chile and Colombia said yesterday that they were recalling their ambassadors to Israel for consultations in light of the strikes of Gaza, which have been in response to the October 7 Hamas-led attack on Israel that killed about 1,400 people. In a statement, Chile accused Israel of refusing to respect international laws and said its airstrikes were a collective punishment of the Palestinian civilian population in Gaza. French President Emmanuel Macron is visiting Central Asian countries of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan today, aiming to boost France's profile in a region where Russia and China, Turkey and Europe are all pushing for influence. In the Kazakh capital Astana for talks with counterpart Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, Macron signed contracts including in pharmaceutical and aerospace. France wants to put its political and economic mark on the energy-rich region. French energy giant EDF is in the running to build Kazakhstan's first nuclear power station, a project that is due to be decided on in a referendum this year. Critical minerals vital for clean energy technologies, which the region has plenty of, will also be part of the talks. France is the fifth biggest foreign investor in Kazakhstan, ahead of China, mainly because of the involvement of energy giant Total Energies in the massive Kashagan offshore oil field project. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Governor of Southern Red Sea region conducts public meeting with residents. Vocational training for workers in Asmara. Bolivia cuts diplomatic ties with Israel over strikes in Gaza. Macron in Central Asia to boost France's profile in the region. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.